This is pretty much why you should not be using or overusing frame perfect things. So what I'm gonna do here is make a line here, and this is gonna be 2 different frames. This is frame 1. This is frame 2. This is Z, but whatever. So let's say that you want to do a 1-frame jump. Now, the way a 1-frame jump works is that you're not actually holding down the button for 1 frame. What you're doing is you are pressing and releasing the button on the same frame. So that means that you'd have to press the button on this frame and release it on the same frame. Now, the way needle RNG works is basically the fact that you cannot know when a frame begins and when it ends. And by the way, a frame is 0.02 seconds. So, let's say that you press the button down for 0.01 seconds. Now you might be thinking, okay, well this should be a 1 frame then, because it's less than 1 frame, but that's not true. It is at 1 frame sometimes. Because, for instance, so let's say that you press the button right here. You hold it down for 0.01 seconds, which is going to be probably about here. So in this instance, you are pressing and releasing the button in the same frame. This ends up being a 1 frame. Now say that you pressed the button for the same amount of time, but a little later. For instance, right here. In this case, you're going to be releasing the button right here. And this is going to result in a 2 frame. Even if I press the button for like a much short amount of time, like for instance this amount of time, this is still a 2 frame. And something like this would end up being a 1 frame. So 2 frame. One frame. So even though right here I'm pressing the button for a longer amount of time than this amount of time, this still ends up being a 1 frame, and this ends up being a 2 frame. Just because we cannot know when a frame begins and when it ends. And that is pretty much why needle RNG is a thing. Now, this can be like applied to pretty much any jump that is frame perfect. This is just an example.